Hey, we're here covering album 464, which is the Isley Brothers 3 Plus 3, released in 1973 on T-Neck Records. And I originally would have thought of putting this as a stranger, but it's nearly an acquaintance, just because listening through it, there's so many songs that I found like familiar and that like I recognized, and I was like, oh, I've heard that before. The one that like I know that I've heard and like little other bits is That Lady. That's been sampled in like two of my favorite hip hop albums of all time, like top five albums. And it's really funny because I think that like Footsteps in the Dark is like the really famous like drum beat that's used everywhere, sampled everywhere. But this must be in like a bunch of like songs too. And the song is also an example of like one of my favorite things on this record of like having part one and part two like jams on here, and the part one is like the more traditional song and the part two is just like an extended jam, and like those extended jams are always awesome, including on That Lady, and also including another one that I recognize and really love, which was Summer Breeze, right? Yeah. um and that one has a guitar solo at the end of it that is just like the highlight of the album. It is so incredible. And this whole thing, is a really fun funk soul record, with mostly like these smooth kind of tones and, with a guitar solo and stuff distorted, like thrown in there. But like one of my other favorites that I definitely recognize as like, oh, I've heard that in a movie or something before was, Listen to the Music, which has this like what I like to call like a blue collar like funk, like Billy Preston, Bill Withers-ish, where it's just a little grittier and a little bit messier, and it's just is really, really great. It's a different texture for the more smooth things that are going on here. And then my last little favorite that I like recognized and thought was interesting was the James Taylor cover. I was not expecting a James Taylor cover, and it's one of those perfect covers that like is obviously very informed by James Taylor and has a lot of respect for like what he did with that song, but is very distinct and different and is doing their own little like Isley Brothers things with it. That one's going to be in rotation for a long time. This whole thing's going to be in rotation for a long time. It is a good, great 9 out of 10. I like almost would put it at like number one for just like respect, but like if I'll be honest, it's like number three on the list, but it is still like so awesome.